President Trump spoke to a packed crowd at Mount Rushmore in South Dakota overnight. There was no social distancing and no masks required. Protesters railed against the president for what they saw as risky behavior in the midst of this pandemic. And ABC's Rachel Scott is on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., where the president in D.C. tonight will attend another large-scale event. Rachel, good morning to you.
Dan, good morning. Yes, 300,000 face coverings will be on hand tonight, but wearing it will be optional. The president hosting his third large-scale event in the last 2 weeks as health officials continue to warn against those big crowds, and another campaign official testing positive for COVID-19. Overnight, fireworks and flyovers at Mount Rushmore. President Trump kicking off the 4th of July weekend, pushing back against weeks of protests that have toppled controversial statues and monuments.
Our nation is witnessing a merciless campaign to wipe out our history, defame our heroes, erase our values, and indoctrinate our children.
In the shadow of those famous presidential sculptures, the president said America's history is under attack.
This movement is openly attacking the legacies of every person on Mount Rushmore. This monument will never be desecrated.
But amid a national reckoning on race, the nation's ideals and principles are being questioned.
When you carve out, 4 white men who were colonizers, who committed genocide against indigenous people, and for that to be okay in society today is fundamentally wrong.
As Air Force One flew overhead, clashes with protesters on the ground. In the amphitheater, no social distancing. Thousands packed shoulder to shoulder, only inches apart. Many not wearing a mask. And minutes before the president took the stage to address the crowd, news that Trump campaign senior advisor and top fundraising official Kimberly Guilfoyle tested positive for COVID-19 in South Dakota. Guilfoyle is dating the president's eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., and regularly attends campaign events. Seen here 2 weeks ago at the Trump rally in Tulsa without a mask. In a statement, the campaign's fundraising committee says Guilfoyle is asymptomatic and was immediately isolated to limit any exposure, and as a precaution, will cancel all upcoming events. Adding Donald Trump Jr. was tested negative, but as a precaution is also self-isolating. And Donald Trump Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle will be driving back to the East Coast from South Dakota. We are told neither have been in close or direct contact with the president, but this comes as a wave of Trump campaign staffers and Secret Service agents have tested positive for the virus following that rally in Tulsa. Whit.
And another big day in Washington. Rachel Scott for us. Thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.
Good morning, my faithful and loyal YouTube subscribers. Today is Sunday. It is July 5th, year 2020. The last few days, it's been a week. I had the hiccups. That was killing my ass for a couple of days. Then I went from the hiccups to having allergy-related issues that's causing me to cough all day. And at one point, I thought I had the coronavirus. So finally, everything seems to be settling down. The hiccups are gone. The coughing is gone, sort of. I've had to go back to using my lovely Beckenese nasal spray to stop the coughing, so I can do it now. So when I went back to using this, that resolved the coughing issue and had me to breathe. The temperatures have probably been in the 90-something. Here in Atlanta, so I'm thinking that my allergies kicked up. It was bad, because I'm telling you, I thought I was going to cough up a lung over here. I was like, okay, is this the coronavirus? Am I dancing with the coronavirus? Did the coronavirus bite my ass? When did it bite my ass? And the motherfucker then bit my ass. So I didn't go to the gym. I stayed home, because like I said, I had the hiccups at first. Then we went from having hiccups to allergies. And then today is Sunday. I feel good. Yesterday I started feeling better. But today I feel much better. I just rinsed out my sinuses, took my allergy medicine, took my nasal spray, and I'm just sitting here having some coffee. last week though, Friday, I was feeling a little bit better. I was considering going to the gym. But I got this loud beeping buzz on my phone saying that coronavirus was once again terrorizing DeKalb County, sweeping across the county. So I was like, oh my goodness. So I canceled that. I said, I ain't going to the gym. And plus, I still was having my allergies was still kind of bad. So I was thinking, I ain't going to the gym to go dance with the coronavirus. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about, I don't know what to say, y'all. Because as in that news report you just saw, you have a president who clearly doesn't believe in social distancing or wearing masks and any of that type of stuff. So the question I'm having is, I don't even know how to even describe this, but it just makes you wonder when you have a president, he's sending out mixed messages. Well, and I know I'm not the only person who's been somewhere and saw a argument among people while you're not wearing a mask. When I go out into public places, I wear my mask when I'm around people. By myself, I don't wear a mask. It's kind of hard to wear a mask in the gym and work out, at least for me. I see some people in the gym with masks on. I am strongly considering looking at some masks for working out, just to be on the safe side. I'm taking this coronavirus very seriously. As you all know, the situation with Earl late last year. So anyway, I went to go pick up some ribs yesterday from Fat Matt's, and the line was long. We were all social distancing, and there was a white woman, white young lady standing behind me. She was way more than 6 feet behind me, which was fine with me, and because I didn't have a mask on. So when I was standing outside, I was behind, a couple was in front of me. I was 6 to 7 feet behind them, and then she was probably about 12 feet behind me, the white girl. So, but she had her mask on, and so I guess another guy behind her said, why aren't you so much space in between you and him? Why don't you step up? Because they were trying to get out of the line was out. They were in the sun. They were trying to get in the shade. So if she would have stepped up, he could have gotten into the shade, but she didn't understand that. Why she didn't understand that, and she just went off and, you don't have a mask on, and he doesn't have a mask on. And so I looked up, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, okay. They going back and forth, and I couldn't help it because it was hilarious. Yeah, I just bust out laughing. I was rolling out there outside Fat Matt's because this shit was hilarious. The black guy, a white girl, going about, they just went back and forth. And she, you don't tell me nothing, and they just went out. So finally, I moved forward, and she moved forward a little bit so he can get into the shade. That's all he was trying to do, move her forward some so he can get out the sun. Because particularly where he was standing, it was hot out there. And that line was long as hell for the damn ribs. So I went on and waited in it because they were moving pretty swiftly. I've also seen incidents like this happen at the post office where people are arguing about whether someone should have a mask on or not. And the closer I got to getting into Fat Matt's, I put my mask on. When I looked back, the black guy who was behind the white girl who was bitching and complaining, he had his mask on at this point. So he had a mask, but we were outside. There just was no need to wear it out there because we were all fairly spaced out pretty far from each other. But anyway, back to y'all's crazy ass President Donald Trump, who's having these rallies and events where there's no social distancing going on, no mask. These messages that he's sending out, you have the health officials telling us to practice social distancing and wear masks. Then he's having these events where he just don't give a fuck. And it's almost like, what is going on here? Something strange is happening here. That the President of the United States does not take this shit seriously. And because he's sending out a horrible message about social distancing and wearing masks, his faithful, loyal followers are falling this fool off a cliff. And I just don't get it. I don't understand. I am thoroughly at a loss for words. I know some of you all write messages saying you don't believe that you believe this is a hoax and that the virus isn't real, but the hospital, I know too many people who are sick I know between people, I know several people who died. It just, I don't know what to make of all this. So, like I said, I'm just going to do what's best for Walter. I will continue to social distance. It was July 4th weekend. I picked up some ribs. I came back home, ate some ribs, chicken. Me and Earl ate some. We got some ribs left over. I'm sticking to social distancing and staying safe. I'm not going out among large groups of people. Damn sure ain't stepping into a bar or nightclub. No way. Not in this environment. I'm just staying safe. This will pass one day, but for now, I'm fine with the social distancing. As to why it bothers people to social distance and to wear a mask, it is beyond me. I don't get it. Giving yourself more space between people that you don't know and that you're in line with, who don't live in your household, wearing a mask so that because if you have the coronavirus and you don't know it, the mask protects everyone from you and from other people. Wearing a mask is not going to kill you or hurt you or harm you in any way. I'm just very confused by the messages that are coming out of the White House. His administration, the Republicans, and his followers are ignorant as fucking hell. My God, these people are ignorant. And if this man gets reelected, this country will be doomed. Because some of these loyal Trump supporters, I drove by a house in Morningside yesterday. When I left Fat Max Rib Shop, I cut through Morningside. I saw this massive banner, Trump 2020. I wanted to get out of the car and rip it down. I literally almost stopped my car and ripped that shit down. I was on this man's fence outside his house. I'm sure some people have cut that shit down 1,000 times. And they still support this food. Still support. If you are a Trump supporter, you are an idiot. You are a fool. If you're voting for Donald Trump and you're watching this video, you are flat out stupid. You are an idiot. You are dumb. And whatever comes, this country got coming because y'all voting for this fool, so be it. Anyway, that's just my thoughts and opinion on Donald Trump and his foolishness, the ignorance coming out of his administration, these rallies and events without social distancing, ignoring all the evidence that's out there to social distance and wear masks, ignoring the CDC, the people in his administration who work, the scientists. It just doesn't make sense. And those of you who have followed him off a cliff, I don't even know what to tell you, but run on off that cliff and die. I think this summer is turning out to be a disaster in many states as these numbers of COVID cases rise and hospitalizations rise and people get sick. Here's the crazy part. There's only maybe a couple of countries having these issues. Brazil, the United States, the Soviet Union, Russia. The other places are taking this stuff very seriously because they realize this is a problem, a serious problem. So, again, I'm not exactly sure what to make of all this, what to think, but hey, people can make up their mind and do what they want to do, and if they want to continue down this path of destructive behavior, then so be it. If they want to continue to follow Donald Trump off a cliff. And I couldn't even imagine the thousands of people who are showing up at these rallies to support of Donald Trump. And it's just reckless behavior. And on a side note, y'all know of Herman Cain. Herman Cain is a Republican, black guy, Republican who he's a millionaire, billionaire, something. I don't think he's a billionaire. But he ran for president a few years back. He went to an event, one of the Tulsa, Oklahoma rally, and he's now in the hospital with coronavirus. He went to a rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he went to another one in Arizona for president, for Donald Trump. And he was at both those rallies. Now he's sick. He's probably in his 60s or 70s. But he's in the hospital now with coronavirus. He didn't wear a mask. He didn't social distance. He didn't, so I'm thinking, what was he thinking? But there he is, laid up now, being hooked up to a respirator. He was an idiot. Like I said, y'all can follow Donald Trump on off a cliff if you want to. Follow him off a cliff with his disastrous behavior, and we'll just see how this works out for you all. But anyway, it's 11 o'clock. I'm ready for this, watching the news, cooking me some breakfast, and they're talking about this situation that took place in a nightclub was packed with people over in South Carolina. There was a nightclub last night that was packed with people, an illegal event, and the 2 people got shot and killed. I think it was in South Carolina, North Carolina, somewhere from there. I don't know. But people are doing what they want to do, and then nobody can do about it. So, anyway, I'm about to get me some breakfast. 11 o'clock Sunday morning. Today it is Sunday, July 5th, the year 2020. I hope you all enjoyed your 4th of July weekend. I hope you practiced social distancing. I hope you didn't go into large groups of people. I saw some videos on not YouTube, but on Facebook and Instagram where people were having parties and cookouts, and you all are ignoring the scientists. And they're warning people. People did this Memorial Weekend. Then did it again this weekend. It's like people are not listening for some odd reason, and I know why, because the horrible behavior Donald Trump is exhibiting. I think Americans are going to be in trouble for quite some time, because we just don't want to follow the rules for whatever reasons. Some people just don't want to wear the mask, and they don't want to social distance. They're just not going to do it, and I just don't understand. I even saw a video of a packed nightclub, and these gay guys were fighting in it. I think it was Compound. And I'm thinking, why are these people piling these clubs? Well, they're young people. They're stupid. They don't know no better. But hey. Anyway, let me cook me some breakfast, y'all. And I'll come back later on and talk about some other stuff. Anyway, I'm out of here, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.